Champions. Who are we? What's going on? 7 a.m. Good morning. Piecing together this quilter. Something or other. Super block, is it called? Tone block 202. Did a video on it a while back. I'll do a quick one on the finished result. The whole output stage filtering was blown to smithereens. So I've got the replacement parts in, and you wouldn't even know it, champions. This was the whole area that had gone on fire. It's amazing what you can clean up with a bit of isopropyl alcohol. Come on, focus, boy. Penny boy. Yeah, there's often a lot of soot and stuff all over a fault area. And a bit of isopropyl it's amazing how well it cleans up. I mean, here was the output capacitors. So I'm concerned that something oscillated, but however, this customer has admitted to plugging the wrong stuff into the wrong stuff. So it could have been a result of that, plugging 2 amps into each other or something weird like that. Who knows? So I am going to power it up cautiously. I'll probably do that later on because I've got some assessments to do this morning. And just make sure there's no oscillation on the output stage that would cause those snubber caps and whatever to flame up so good. Just going to clean off the micro washer. It's got a very large micro washer that covers all the output devices and power supply, MOSFETs and diodes all at once. The chassis itself is used as the heatsink in this case. It's got this weird green thermal transfer tape. Does it dissolve? Yes, it dissolves. There you go, Mark. There you go, Billy. Never seen such a weird color heat transfer compound before. I suppose they just, I don't know if it's got some copper in it, give it the green hue or not. Just get the majority of it off. Get it off the devices as well, the semiconductors. There we go with that. Ryan, how you going? Yeah, another live. Why not? Probably won't get many viewers today because it's the middle of the week. Everyone's dialed into work like I should be. Ah. All right, it's all good. Good morning from California. What was that shielded cable you mentioned in the video series that shall not be named? I will be putting that back up, but just edited, so you know. After, as I say, one of the strangest phone calls I've ever had with another human being. I've provided him the opportunity to basically defend, say in writing that it's not his amplifier, which is what he's claiming, and to show what is different between what he was building and what I showed, because a lot of it didn't make sense. So we'll see what happens, and if I don't get a response, then I'll just say that I didn't get a response and disclaimer it, and you know, this was made in 2015 and is not representative according to the manufacturer of their current standard of construction. I don't think that's relevant because I was pretty clear that it was made in 2015. Just because your product isn't the same back then as it is now doesn't mean I'm not allowed to show it on film. That's a fucking stupid thing to think. I mean, therefore, if that was the case, I wouldn't be able to repair or show any repair videos of anything other than what's currently the current models of every manufacturer. What kind of logic's that? It's pretty, isn't it? Penny boy, focus for me. Yeah, the argument is basically I'm not allowed to show anything that's not a current production model on my channel. What? But then in the next breath he said he didn't build it. But if he did, I'm not allowed to show it. But then the construction techniques that I showed are perfectly fine. And he does that for a reason. But he didn't build it. But if he did, it would be perfect. Huh? Like I say, it was one of the weirdest phone conversations I've ever had, so everything's going to be email from now on because I want written proof of everything. You're going to make threats, you're going to put it in writing. Right, chassis clean. I mean, I don't like doing this. It's not fun. It's something I wish I didn't have to deal with. Like, I've built stuff 10 years ago that I would have done massively different now. It's called growth. But if someone was out there reviewing my video, I'd just reviewing my amp, sorry. I'd just be like, yeah, wasn't great. The customer can reach out to me and I can rebuild it for him for free if he wants. That's what I'd do personally. That's my opinion. But you know what? I didn't build amplifiers for profit until I got lots of advice and guidance and showed my work to my colleagues who manufacture amplifiers for a living and repair them, and got their advice and said, what do you think about this? And they said, you should probably do it like this. And I said, that's a good idea. I'll do that. That's the way I worked anyway. And from a vast network of full-time professional manufacturers and repair techs, I formed a set of opinions about construction techniques that's informed my opinion before I even started doing it as a business. By the time I was doing it as a business, I had a set of principles that I sort of used as guidelines, and obviously experience affected them as well and helped develop them. And that's the way I operate. At one point, there was a claim that it was a Seriatone. I've seen Seriatone amps. They are some of the best amps in the world, particularly for the price. And I don't think Nick would be happy about that. And Nick's a good bloke. What I think some of these people forget is that we all talk to each other. We're all in touch with each other. We run things by each other. And we help each other out. And that's the way it should be. Hysterical from Petaluma, home of Mesa Boogie. How you going? Alrighty then. Oh, that was a bit of partridge in a pear tree sort of influence then, wasn't it? Alright, so this, all the devices go on there. Silver mic goes on there. This little finger doover goes on there. Sorry, that way. Screws go through there. And that keeps the pressure on the rear panel. So let's make all that happen. So the price was inaccurate, Mark. So although the current model goes for $4,995, I forget the exact figure. I have asked him. He mentioned something in the low 2000s that sold for, but couldn't produce a receipt or an invoice, which is weird. Thought you'd have. I've got stuff on record from 15 years ago, invoices that I sent. I've got every invoice I've ever sent on record still. Maybe he hasn't. I don't know. I can't comment on that, but yeah, that amplifier didn't sell for $5,000, so that's something I'll redact in the edited video. I can't put a figure on it, but I just won't mention price, because that's not relevant to the repair anyway. Morning, Andrew. How you going, legend? Oh yeah, how you going with the Club and Country Marshall? Mouse tuned wires. How did they get into the amp? Just the cabinet, or did they somehow get into the chassis? I did ask him to send me a current model, Dustin. I said I'd cover shipping and a rental fee for a weekend's rent, but he declined. Politely declined. Alright, I've got some missing screws. Oh no, here we go. They're in the little container. Andy, what's going on, legend? I'll get my nappy rash paste. Sometimes some watery bit comes out at the start, a little bit of separation between the oil, so I'll just clear the nozzle a touch. No, it's all good. All the way into the chassis. How do they get inside the chassis? Is there a large hole? I mean, I know mouse get into everything, but mice get into everything, but that's a gonna be a pretty tight squeeze in for a mouse, isn't it? Unless there's some strange chassis construction I'm unaware of. A leaky tip. It happens. Depending on your age. Damn it. Stay on the back. This is where I'll make a mess. Alright, so the paste should hold that micro washer there, sorry. And then we'll apply some, no point having thermal compound on only one side, so we'll apply some to the other side. This is one of those jobs where no matter how careful you are with the paste, you finish a job and you find something like on the back of your head or something. Just ends up everywhere. Alright. Sandwich those devices to the rear. There's those large screws. Alex, hey Brad and Champs, just popping in on my lunch break, say how much I appreciate this little corner of the internet. Well, thanks for bloody joining us, mate. Spending your valuable lunch hour. What are you having for lunch, Alex? Here's actually a large hole with no component mounted in it right under the PCB. Ah, so that's how they got in. Is that like for a high power version or something? Or morning, Shane. You know you're getting older and you consider a good night one where you didn't have to hit the head 2-3 times before sunrise. Where does that term come from anyway? Is that a naval thing? Hit the head? It means taking a piss, yeah? Hopefully that situation works out, mate. I'm about to do my final test for my amplifier configuration. My amplifier config unit at TAFE. Amplifier config unit. Can you elaborate on what that is? Your refret live streams were immensely helpful for me when I refretted an old 80s Greco Les Paul. I have the pre-filing before installing the fret, saved a bunch of time. Yeah, I'm not sure which one you're referring to, because usually the refret live streams were just a bit of an off-the-cuff seat of the pants kind of deal when I just felt lonely. It felt like talking to some champions while I was doing a boring job. But yeah, I'm glad you got something from it. What's worse is gooey old rubber belts that come off tape machines. I was just pulling apart a movie machine several days ago and still getting random black goo on my fingies. Leftover pizza here. Well, that's alright. You know what's great? Leftover pizza, and you put it in the sandwich press, but you set the sandwich press to melt, not to like sandwich it. So it's like you put it back in the oven. The bottom gets crispy. There's nothing worse than microwave pizza. It's better to have it just cold. But the sandwich press is king. It's like it's just come out of the oven again. It's got to be a pretty like girthy pizza though. If you've got one of those real thin, shitty Domino's or Pizza Hut pizzas that are like dry as fuck, if you set them out for like 5 minutes, then it's gonna suck no matter what you do. Greetings, Scotty. How you going, legend? Mess of barbecue. That could be taken more ways than one. Hey, Brad, I've got a mess of barbecue just over there. Set fire to itself. Hey, Brad, since you work on solid state stuff, what do you do when you need small value, low leakage electrodes like 0.22 things when film are just too bulky to fit without looking unprofessional? So, what you want to use... Ow! There's a light above my head. Forgot about that. What you want to use there is, if you can, a multi-layer ceramic. I'm assuming 0.22. I'm assuming that that's going to be under 100 volts. In which case you can get super, super compact 0.22 microfarad multi-layer ceramic capacitors. Now, I've got them... I've just recently given them... I used to store them with my ceramics, but now, because they're sort of a different genre of of ceramic, if you will, I've given them their own container. You may get some films that are small enough. It depends on your voltage again. 0.22 is getting up there though, but these are... Often I get them for like really small values. They're really great for bright caps and stuff. In the picofarad range, because they're tiny. You can really hide them away. But it's insane what values they go up to. Here's 100. Oh, hang on. All of these in the picofarad range. Sucks when they don't put the value in the description. 33 nano. So it is sort of looking a bit bigger. 335. Because I got these for so that's 1 microfarad. I got these for the Mesa Boogie EQs. This is a 3.3 microfarad, 50 volt, and look how small they are. And that's a 50 volt cap. So they're amazing capacitance density, but they only go up to like 50 or 100 volt. There's probably ones that go higher, but they sort of start getting large again. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you, no matter what you do, stay away from silver micas in general these days. They're just shit. You can get decent ones, but they're super expensive to get one that's okay, and people use it as a sale point. It's all just bloody snake oil, mate. 2 to 2.5 mil lead spacing. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, you can get a multi-layer ceramic capacitor, no problem, down to that lead spacing. What amp are you speaking about from 2015? You'll find out. Rect cap pins on pedals. Rectifier cap. Rectifier cap? What? How did you join you, Brad? Just finishing up this little 3-watt chucha in a 5x7 Hammond box. Nice. Is that a just a little single ender there get let out? This is the kind of trouble you get me into. If I'm reheating pizza, I take a small glass bowl of boiling water and pop it in the oven as it preheats. Yeah, okay, so it's a bit of a steam oven. Huh. It's a good idea. Need a break from the smell of those Keystone terminal strips heating up. Yeah, they do have a smell, don't they? It's like the phenolic resin. I like that smell though, because I'm weird. It reminds me of early electronics. Old 70s amps smell like that, mixed with the flux. Just watched your Pro Reverb videos. Now I'm scared to get work done on my amp. Any recommendations for quality shops in Melbourne? Yeah, well, you'd want to talk to TK Amp Repair. TKs. I'll pass the contact details on to you, but look up. He could be in the chat later on. Sucks to have to stay away from them because CDE ones are so frighteningly expensive. Yeah, but this, I don't know. I just don't find that silver micers have any advantage. It's all disadvantages. People are just using them because they were in old amps, but back then it was because they didn't have the technology to make multi-layer ceramic capacitors or good film caps. I need to smoke something. It's been a week. Are you talking about meat or substances there, Mark? Been about 10 minutes here since you smoked something. Single-ended 12AX7 and EL84 output. Frank at FGR gave me a deal on a tiny OT that I couldn't pass up. Nice. Good old Frankie boy. Love Frankie boy. See, again, he's a good egg. Just be a good egg, champions. Be a good egg. It's just a unit that covers Class A, B, and AB amplifiers mostly. Pretty much just an overall look at the basic construction of workings of them when implemented with transistors. Okay, so are you building a test model, or what's the story there? Have you actually built a unit to study, like a test rig prototype thing? Smoking the meat. Where's my 8mm? Oh, there it is. So Luke came in today. You guys have met Luke on a live stream not long ago. Local school kid. And he's obsessed with oh, it's American, so it'll be Imperial. He's obsessed with John Mayer. And I'm not. But he gave me a bit of a John Mayer education yesterday, so that was cool. He's actually a pretty good guitarist. I didn't realize he was that good a guitarist, actually. Sort of not what the fuck size is this thing? He's not super showy, but you know, gets the job done and tasteful, not over the top. Because I'd only heard like all the radio songs, you know, and they're always pretty cringe from a lot of artists. But yeah, even Luke was like, yeah, don't listen to the radio stuff. And as soon as he said that, I go, oh, he's a real music fan, because so many music fans say that. Don't listen to the radio stuff, listen to the good stuff. Alright, are we ready to blow stuff up yet? You can see that the heatsink compound is squashed out nicely. We've got good contact there, that's great. I'm a little bit, I know these things are efficient, but using just the case as the heatsink, I think, might be a little bit optimistic. I'll see how much, how effective that is. John Mayer's former guitar teacher has a good YouTube channel. Tomo Fujimoto. Huh. To check that out. I'm going away this year for Christmas. I'm not taking any electronics this year. I'm just going to take a guitar and just play, because I've really feels gross how little I've played guitar this year. That's the plan anyway. That's neutral. And that's active because it goes straight to the fuse. Should have cleaned the soot off the chassis, I guess, but not affecting anything. So is it going to explode in our face? That's what your mum said. Ah! Tomo is hilarious. Oh, he's funny, is he? Okay, I'll watch it for sure. I can't watch serious YouTube, eh? I need someone that throws a few jokes around. Should definitely smoke this week. Next week, single-digit temperatures. I do not envy you living there, Marcus. You guys are about to experience a massive cold front too, aren't you? News of United States weather for some reason makes it to Australia. We don't know what the weather's going to be here though. I'm an idiot. Okay. Well, you're in good company then. Fujito. Tomo Fujito. That's right. Just throwing around extra Japanese syllables. It's not your fault that they're fun to say. Fujimoto is fun to say. I'm sure someone out there is called Fujimoto. Let's have a look. Or does it mean something in complete gobbledygook in Japanese? Oh no, it's a Japanese manga artist. I've been meaning to do a stream with Dr. Gear 6 because he's a weeb, where he educates me on the differences between manga, anime, all the other things. Because I've got no idea. I think, is manga like illustrated novels, and anime is like cartoons, like animations? Because anime, is that right? Not big on Tomo channel personally. What don't you like about it? Just for as a good mix of opinions there. Because, you know, some channels aren't for everyone. That's why there's multiple channels. Okay. Should we attach a scope to this and fire it up and see if it blows up in our face? As a fellow weeb, that is accurate. Ah, okay, cool. Good to know. Alright, because it's got a switch mode power supply, it's difficult to power up. You can't really use a variac because it'll just not power up until it gets to a voltage that it can convert. Then it'll just power up as if you just switched it on anyway. So we've kind of got to just go for it, eh? And just give it full build, which is always a bit nerve-wracking. But we'll monitor the output and cut it off quickly if we see oscillation, because I think that's what caused the initial fault. I also don't know which way the on switch goes. I'm assuming that way is on. Yes, it is. I'll switch that off. Just power up without a load first. Actually, no, I will give it a load because I want to see what the output's doing, if it's oscillating or not. Alright, we've got 8 ohms. Channel 2. Why is my intensity so low? Give it the onion. Just give it the full beans. Light bulb limiter. Sometimes switch mode power supplies don't fire up reliably with light bulb limiter, Dustin. Particularly the universal ones. They'll fire up with full power regardless. Full voltage, I mean. Because they'll just convert it. Or they'll power cycle. So you think there's something wrong, but it's just the fact you've got it plugged into the light bulb limiter, or they will just not fire up at all. Hey Brad, enjoying the channel. I had a mad moment and brought a broken Turnmaster Deluxe Reverb. It's got the flashing light thing going on. Mate, yeah. What do you think the chances are that it is the Schottky diode and caps? I'd say the chances are very high, and that's actually a viable repair. Have I done a video on that? I don't think I have. Lyle has, though. Go and check out Lyle's video. It's one of the more recent ones that he's put up, because he hasn't put videos out for a while. Too busy with life. Oh, I'm scared. Should I get the BOFA going in case it smokes up? Show my confidence. Ah! Alright, we go for it. No oscillation. 12.7 watts from the wall. Let's give it some signal. We have signal. Oh, reverb's on. I'm getting weird measurements. We have signal. All right, let's see what this little choocher can do. No, 8 ohms. Oh, sync to the line. Internal sync. Ah, that's why it was dim. Because I was synced to the line. I was showing Luke something about how to. I was showing Luke how to determine the polarity of a pickup using noise, ambient noise, and turn on the soldering station, push the pick guard up against that, and showed him that you can see if pickups are in phase with each other by using the oscilloscope on 2 separate traces, and explained how they determine the phase, or how they change the phase of a pickup. You swap the coil direction, that swaps the phase over of the noise and the signal, and then you swap the magnets over, and that changes the polarity of the signal but not the noise. So that's how humbuckers work. I'm doing it at TAFE and Ultimo. Sydney seems like the best one around here. That's awesome, man. Maybe share me the course details, because I'd like to share that on the channel too if anyone wants to get into it. And also, when Luke gets to the right age, send him to TAFE. He can get a proper education instead of my hack one. What's that BNC 1/4 inch setup? That's a special cable or an adapter. Yeah, it's just an adapter. I got sick of making cables and they'd always break, so I wanted a really good quality test cable with a boot like that, molded. You can only get BNC to BNC ones. So trying to make one that went from BNC to jack was always a pain in the ass. You always had to make one or whatever. So then I found Switchcraft makes these things. I try not to drop it into the powered up amp, but essentially it's a just a Switchcraft jack end on a BNC adapter. Also got RCA ones, which is handy. So you can use the standard test gear and just change your adapter to suit whatever. I tried to make everything as modular as possible, so I didn't have to go didn't have to have a million leads. I just had sort of like standardized leads, and then just use the different adapters for the end, and just grab whatever adapter I need off the shelf right here. So I just got a very important piece of equipment for my workshop, a cup holder. I wish I studied something useful with tape instead of music and sound production. That's what I studied too, Shane. Yeah, probably should have made a better decision, but we had some good times. Alright, so we're at full power on the output. The master's actually got like power ratings drawn on it. Alright, hitting the wall at 37.7 volts RMS, 37.7 squared divided by 8. So it's putting out 177 watts RMS into 8 ohms. Wow. So we might run that for a bit. Just check that it's all hunky-dory. What I might do is just power it off again. Have a quick play. And then just check that it sounds okay. It looks okay on the scope. But yeah, this quilter stuff, I've got a super block in there, which is a tiny little thing. And it's got like a 20 watt amp in it. It's literally a pedal is your whole rig. Quite impressive. They're not full on modelers, they're just amps, and then you still got a speaker. Okay, why is that making a poppy sound when I plug the speaker in? Have we got DC offset there, even though the thing's powered off? Got friggin' 10 volts on it. What's that all about? Why have we got 10 volts on the fucking speaker output? With the load, we've got nothing. So we've got a small floating voltage on the output stage. But then you plug in the 8 ohms, 8 ohm load, and it goes to nothing. What is it when I put the speaker in? It's a tiny little pop. You can only just hear it, so there must be a charge cap there or something. Why is it coming back up then? I can't get a full schematic off these people. Because I wasn't showing a DC offset on the scope. Nothing untoward there. Do we have a play? Just quickly, let's play a few chords. See if it sounds like it should. Just mute my mic and go to the underbench speaker. 1 second. Sorry, that was just my lead. Rock and roll. Another one back out the door, champions. So that's one of their amps, and I'm gonna just say it's probably something the customer did that caused the output to fail, and he admitted that too. So in that respect, I'd say it's a pretty good product, and I reckon just one of them, if you're playing that style of music, just one of them's like all you need. You got a little bit of reverb there in this tiny little package. And then here's their super block. What was wrong with this one again? I think there was nothing wrong with it. Oh no, the standby. Oh fuck, I got to order a switch for that. So it wasn't going into standby mode. Yeah, but otherwise it works fine. This thing's impressive too. It's got a speaker output, 8 ohms, 4 to 16 OK, 25 watts in 8 ohms. We're going into 16 ohm. Let's have a little play through this. 24 volt DC 3 amp. I think he gave me a power supply with it. Where is that? Oh yeah, here it is. So it's got a PS24. It's a quilter power supply switch mode thing, like a laptop supply sort of deal. Yeah, it's a nice sounding amp, eh? I know everyone thinks all I do is shit on stuff, but and particularly the modern stuff, but that I'd be happy to own one of them. So it's got no standby mode. It's just not going into standby mode. It's still going into play mode though. So we can have a little play with this one. Let's zoom into touch. Might have to just clamp my cables or something because I'm going to drag the amp all across the bench. Now you'll get a kick out of the amplifier module in this. I'll show you once we've had a listen, and you won't believe it. That's going to stay there. That should be right. Pop. All right. So, you know, for the people that don't want to get into the full-on modeling, one of these is an awesome solution. It's got the line out there. You can feed to the sound guide. It's got cab sim. I just realized the cab sim's coming out through the line out. When I was switching it, I didn't notice any difference because the speaker output is expecting you to plug into a speaker. Crazy, I know. But yeah, what they are, pretty cool. So yeah, the issue with that I thought was the switch, but the switch is responding fine. So I think it's one of the actually I sent an email about this and I haven't heard back. They responded about the this one, the tone block, and sent me a little segment of a schematic, and that was handy. I could still determine the value of the components before I remove them though. But here is your amplifier. Look at it, little choo-choo. That's your amplifier module, and that is a Maxim. I'll just rotate it around so I can read it. It's a Maxim Max 98400. Max 98400. Max 98400. Analog devices, Maxim, stereo, high power, class D. Alright, we've got a PDIF. Let's have a look. Stereo, high power, class D amplifiers, wide 8 volts to 28 volts supply voltage. Wow. Single supply operation. Clipping limiter, that's handy. Low quiescent current. Applications, LCD monitors, blah, 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 blah. MP3 docking stations, notebook PCs. So let's look at the specs. It's going to be very dependent on the voltage, of course, like you'd expect. But what's its absolute maximum? That looks like it's... what's the varying? 24 volts. Okay, so that's 12 volts, 18 volts, 24 volts into 8 ohms. So it hits the wall at about 25 watts. And it appears that that's the maximum voltage they've provided measurements for. More graphs. Efficiency versus output power. At 24 volts, you're at 85% efficiency. At 50 to 60 watts. That's pretty impressive. So you see the efficiency is very low at low measurements. But how are they gauging efficiency? Is that power consumed versus power output? Because then your quiescent current draw is going to be above the output power. So that's why the graph just disappears down to 0% efficiency there, because you're approaching your quiescent state. Maximum output power versus supply voltage. So 10% total harmonic distortion. Yeah, why not? So you're getting around 50 volts at 16 volt, 50 watts at 16 volts supply voltage. I wonder what this one's running it at. Yeah, pretty impressive little units, eh? All that power in that tiny little package. Just story of my life. A lot of power for a small package. So yeah, interesting. I love stuff like that. It's cool. And being an off-the-shelf chip, if it ever does fail, you can buy one. But I reckon if that fails, it's probably going to take out that whole area of the board, since you've got such high power density. Look at those big fat traces running to it from that'll be the speaker output. They use multiple pins to share the current. Then you go into your output filters there. And they're probably running at bridge because you've got 2 filters. And you've got big fat traces on the other side too. So I forgot to look at the pin out, but you are probably running those in a bridge configuration. And if anything went wrong in this area, you're gonna be vaporizing large areas of the board. But you know, the power brick's about the same size as the amp. Yeah. The apprenticeship is just a component level repair job at a pool and spa repair company here in Sydney, hoping to move into audio after I'm finished it though. Yeah, cool. You've learned a fair bit from that, I guess. I don't think they'd be like into like full-on PLCs and stuff, would they? I don't know. I'm unaware of spa technology. Those power supplies are a pain in the ass, so same as the Wii Orange Micro and yeah. Is there a reason? I suppose there's a reason why they use them instead of including the transformer in the chassis. Yeah, well, there's 2 reasons. So noise is one of them, but also size. Like you can hide that under your pedal board, but if it was in the actual box, you can see because of the power density and that output stage, you'd almost double the size of the unit, you know. I saw a video claiming new Gibson made dual rectifier is far more reliable and consistent than the originals. Correct? Asking because family member wants one. I have no idea. I hope they are. Having said that, the original dual Rex aren't that unreliable, partially because they run the 6L6s at like 12% dissipation. So, but yeah, it's if you're taking them on the road, they can give you a bit of grief because of the construction techniques. But don't know. I haven't seen any Gibson Mesa Boogie stuff in the flesh yet. I hope it's really good, but the cynical side of me says that's it's probably not. What do you think, champions? You think that a massive company like Gibson's going to just all of a sudden go, we're going to start manufacturing top quality boutique level stuff that's serviceable and reliable, and your needs as a musician are our top priority? Do you think they're going to say that? I don't know. They could. Usual things. How you going, legend? Just fixing some solid stators, bro. So yeah, I'll follow up that email on that super block, because I want to get a segment of the schematic that shows the standby switching, because I can't determine what transistors they are off the codes provided. Okie dokie. What are those 2 screws? Oh yeah, they're for the DI output jack. I think it's unlikely they change fucking anything with a layout that's already that much of a headache. I think they are changing layouts, but whether or not they're better or worse, I couldn't tell you. They changed the layout. Yeah, they changed the layout of the 2C Plus to the point where it oscillated. I don't know what the latest is on that, whether they've responded to those videos that have gone viral, or do they just do what all the manufacturers that have made a mistake do these days and issue a takedown notice. Which you as customers should take great offense to that, because that means they're trying to take your money and lie to you. So I suggest any company that does that does not deserve your business. Go for a brand like Friedman, Fuchs, Sir, Head first. Go for a company that will respect you. Don't go for a company that will try and hide and obfuscate things to swindle you. Go for someone you can get on the phone to or send a message to and they actually respond. And they've got a network of global legends that will help you out if you ever have a problem. Not some 1300 number that you get a robo answer on. I imagine they'll listen and do it properly now the problems have been pointed out. Whether they succeed is another matter. Well, you're pretty optimistic there, Paul Crane. Paul, but I hope for that as well. Alright, box of burnt shmoo in the bin. Still got now our champions. Yeah, Engle's quite good. They've done some stuff like run really thin wires for the HT traces, which is a bit weird, but I haven't seen any burn, so that's a positive. Just wrap this lead up a bit better. Did Fender listen in like 30 years? Yeah, no, well that's what makes me cynical. Rotating driveline 3466. Interesting name there. Yeah, it's just when you get an endless stream of the same broken shit over and over again for 30 years, you do become a bit cynical. I'm trying to not be, but when you never get proven wrong, you tend to, you know, lean that way a bit. Call me crazy. Don't call me Gertrude. Alright, that one's back to the customer. Happy days. What's next? I'm going to get started onto that Rivera modded, or supposedly. That's another thing I'm going to have to disclaimer the fuck out of. The customer showed me some documentation and sketches of the modifications of this amplifier, reportedly done by Paul Rivera, but there's no definitive proof that that's the case. It could have been anyone. Could have been used as a sale point by the person that sold it. But then you say that, and then the person that sold it fucking challenges you. It's like, oh, fuck's sake. Maybe I'll just delete my fucking channel and everyone can have what they want. No broken shit equals no business. Yeah, mad techie, but if I could flick my fingers and nothing, no musician's products ever broke ever again, just by magic, I'd do that and I'd just find a different fucking job. Because that would make music easier to make and more profitable if they never had to fix anything. I'd find something else to keep me entertained. Building boutique cigar boxes for millionaires or something. I don't know. Don't call me Freckles, and where the fuck were you when the shit hit the fan? I'm pretty sure you just do that with euros. Don't call me Freckles, and where the fuck were you when the shit hit the fan? What? What happened? I don't know what's going on. I know musicians that still find a way to break shit, yeah. The genie makes all music equipment unbreakable and the musician still fucking breaks it somehow, and the genie's like, what the fuck? This has never happened. Nickel frets that last forever. Just go Staino, Scotty. Stainless. 290 CEX. Ordered from Mouser. Turned up in a fucking box loose. They never pack transformers correctly, so I've got to try and straighten that bolt out without cross-threading the nut that's on it. But this is going in the Vibrolux because they want a 240 volt conversion. So that means new cord, new fuse, and a marking, a sticker on the back. Fuck, that reminds me, I've got to get more Brother P-Touch labels. I should go do that now before I open. I'll do it later on. I've been meaning to order them because there's a company that sells like fake ones online, but they're fine. Dad's been using them and they're just as good. But you get like 4 of them for the price of one Brother. One. They charge like fucking $50 for a roll or something. It's ridiculous. So, I might do a video on that one and just be very open and upfront with the fact that we don't have any actual written proof that it's a Paul Rivera modified amp. But like, do I even say it at all in that case if I can't prove it? It's sort of like, just say here's a modified amp. I like the annoying pinging, Scotty, but of course I play a Strat, so, and I like surf rock, so I like annoying pinging. That's my style. And I got lifters on. Stainless frets are great. I can't tell the difference in feel or sound. I can tell the difference in feel, definitely. Providing they've been properly dressed. They're like skating on glass in terms of bending. Yeah, you might find yourself actually, because the coefficient of friction so reduced with stainless, proper stainless frets, even to a degree with the Evo Gold stuff or Stumax equivalent. They just add a bit of extra copper to the alloy, which makes it harder. You might find yourself for the first couple of minutes overshooting some bends and stuff, but after that, it's hard to go back to nickel after that, because you just feels like you're dragging your feet in the mud when you're playing on nickel frets after you get useless to stainless. Standard feels good to me with nickel. I feel like I'm sanding them down every bend. Yeah, it feels like that. Like the frets on this 80s Strat over here, I've just Scotch Brighted them. I'm about to hand polish them, but I might ask him. He didn't want one. He just wanted electronics restoration and a general cleanup. But yeah, you see the pitting there. It looked way worse before I Scotch Brighted them. And even up here, there's a general flattening and just galling on the frets. And I think someone's given it a fret hone in the past, because I can see file marks on the crown. So probably not a brilliant job done before, but once they start getting that sort of galling happening, it's like having a file and it starts chattering. You sort of got to go across the grain to stop, to get rid of the chattering marks, or they'll just keep. It's almost like corrugations in a road. They just keep getting worse and worse. It sort of reinforces itself when you bend, and yeah, so it's got the annoying stupid nut before the LSR roller nut. But I won't have time to do this year, but I'll just set it up for him and say, bring it back next year if you want to look at a refret and possible Staino refret on that too, because this one's been unplayed for a while. We installed a new TVX control in it because the pots were playing up, but he just wanted to return to stock wiring, so we just wired that Damasio up as a full-on humbucker, whereas it had this before with the TVX. Probably could have reused that pot if I gave it a good old clean, but he supplied a replacement pot, so I just put that in and put 2 new CTSs in it because he wanted to get rid of the switch one. And this one was pretty manky, so just put all new pots in there, rewire, dress the wire nicely so it has a bit more resistance to noise, and it's a nice finish. I don't mind that. Very 80s, but I do like it. I picture Eric Clapton in a like a powder blue suit playing it in a friggin' nightclub or something. But yeah, we gave it all the hardware a ultrasonic clean. I ultrasonically cleaned the switch. I thought I'll throw it in and just see if it recovers. And yeah, it did weld for it. And then just re-lubricated the bearing that gives it the notches, and lubricated the contacts. fully took apart the saddle. There's a few screws that are seized I've got to try and get out. I might put a new set of stainless screws in there. The stock ones from Fender always rust and become impossible to remove without destroying them. So you think they've got stainless saddles, you think they go stainless screws too, but you get the black ones there and they get all rusty and seize up. That's alright, I've got some stainless ones of that. Once you find the thread of a lot of these screws for guitar hardware, if you've got a thread detective or something like that, and you can determine the standard of the thread, screws, fasteners and everything become a lot cheaper, because Fender or whoever, they source them. I mean, Fender don't make screws. They source them from a screw supplier, and then they put 6 or 12 of them in a bag and then charge you 20, 30 bucks for them. If you're a luthier or a repair tech, obviously it's within your interest to find that thread, find the screw supplier and get 1,000 of them off the supplier for half the price of a dozen of them from Fender, which is what I do. Got to get that one ready. It's all wired up, ready to go. Just got a new hip shot in for a customer of mine. He gets new bases, and then every bass he chucks a hip shot bass extender on. So there's a lot of different patterns of these. His particular one was a Brett Sanders from Mastodon, signature Mexican one. And we took all the measurements, and this is the one for that, which happens to be a... doesn't say. It's an email. They've just got a generic sheet in there and no part number on the outside. But anyway, that had to come from the US because no one in Australia had one, which is great. Had to wait a month for that to turn up. What do we want to do now? We've still got 45 minutes, so let's get into an orange Rockerverb. So this one has reports of, it's heavy for a 50 watt head. This one has reports of no signal on the drive channel. Could just be a valve. Could be something more sinister. I set my color balance. It almost looks yellowy in the video there. It's bright orange in real life. I've been experimenting with tons of pots. I really like the Damasio ones. The taper is correct on them. Aren't the Damasios just CTS rebadged though, Scotty? There are lots of different CTS ones though. Some of the CTS ones with the dimple back, I didn't like the taper of, and then the ones with the flat back, I did. So be aware of that. I think Lyle went into it on a video. He compared a whole bunch of them when he was wiring up. He was going down a rabbit hole of pickups and setting up his guitars there for a while, and he went down the pot taper rabbit hole and made some handy determinations that will save us the trouble. Really need to go over there and throw him a few bucks for all the work he does, champions, because he saves us a lot of time that we'd otherwise have to spend figuring shit out ourselves. Alright, 16 ohm. Where are we? 1x16. Full standby on. Okay, we're in standby mode. Drawing. Okay, meters quiet there for a minute. 50 watts. There was a bit of an inrush then because oh, the pots are loose. The knobs, sorry. There was a bit of inrush because I saw the light dim behind me. I'm gonna power it up. Just tighten that knob. The cutesy little symbols. I forget what they mean every time. Is the coil one the attenuator? Or is that reverb? That'd be reverb. And the arrow pointing up, is that attenuation or is that our master? I don't know. Speaker and arrow pointing down. Is that attenuation? So if I turn that up, do I get more attenuation, or is it a master? I don't know. I always forget. Some are CTS, the push-pull ones are Burns. Yeah, Burns make the best push-pull in my opinion. Sometimes I'll reinforce them with a bit of solder though, where the crimps are, just to make sure if you are soldering stuff to the housing that houses the switch there, Scotty, just to make sure you got 100% electrical connection there, instead of just relying on the crimp. That's what I do anyway. Just get in there and get out quick with a real hot iron, so you're not heating up the whole housing, because if you heat up the body of those switches, you can melt the nylon element inside. But if you're just doing it right at the corner at the seam, and you get in there quick and get out again, you can do it without damaging the pot. They say not to in the documentation, the data sheet and that, but if you're real quick, you can do it. They say not to, and then they put a tab to wrap the wire around and solder to, so, you know, they're just saying it as a disclaimer. Ended up getting a Nick Johnson Schecter and throwing Demasia HS3s in it. They're the high gain things, eh? Because Ingve? I do that. I used to solder the collar on switchcraft jacks too. Yeah, that's not actually not a bad idea too, Scotty. Yeah. Same as yesterday, winding down the Wednesday work day in Charlotte, North Carolina, NC. So you guys throw a US state at me. I'll see if I can remember what state it is, and then I'll throw an Australian one at you. You're not allowed to Google it though. I know you just Google it, but ours are pretty easy because the A is always Australia, and it's just like north, south, west. Columbia. CO's Columbia, isn't it? OR's Oregon. You can see I'm not Googling it because I'm sitting here. Nowhere USA. I sometimes think I know the US states better than half you Americans. Oh, Colorado. Ah. Yeah, I meant state. What does Tasmania stand for? I don't know. Maine. Oh, am I saying what city, what state Maine is in? I don't know. I don't know that much. Ben, how you going, mate? What's happening? All right, let's see if this Rockerverb's truly got no signal on the drive channel. Drawing 44 watts idle at the moment. Oh, Maine is a state, okay. Because I know MN's Minnesota, isn't it? Mampatazzi. Full power. Going up to 128 watts, settling down to 90 watts. A little bit hot for a 50 watter. Might have to check that bias. All right, clean. Just mute my mic for a sec. Sounds like it's got drive channel to me. Yeah, I don't know. Now I might give him a call and just say, what are you talking about? 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 Could it be the effects loop? Channel switch? Yeah, I might just investigate and just see if he's referring to it like the switch not working or something. Because before I go any further with that, I'll just see if he wants a general service too, because he just acquired it. They're good amps, I like these. But something funny going on there for it to work straight away with no issue. It's clearly not a valve. Rawr. All right. Now, this one. Good customer of mine. And just do a little promo work for him. Gavin Bowles and the Distractions. Now, anyone that's an Australian knows what this is all about. He gave me a stubby cooler. Or a beer koozie, as the Canadians say. So let me find him. Gavin Bowles. Musical artist. I'll give you his website. Get over there, check out the gig guide if you're a local. Has he got a Bandcamp? Bandcamp. I like Bandcamp because you can actually give people money in order for them to give you music. $12 for the digital album champions. $12. It's not a lot. That's a schooner of IPA these days. $12 for a beer. All right, so I'll give you the Bandcamp if you want to go over and chuck him a few bucks for his albums. Good stuff. And if you want to check out his website, he's over here. Yeah, that's exactly what he said, Paul. He said, here, take one of these before I get a cease and desist. But I'll be proud to drink out of that one. I won't be drinking a VB, though. If he could make his own beer, that'd be cool. Grab a GB. Stick a GB down your throat. Oh, that sounds a bit... Yeah. Let's get his socials happening too. Follow him on Insta. Follow him on Facebook. Not just him, it's him and his brother. And self-igniting drummers, you know the deal. Insta. Facebook. Tell him I sent you too. Give me some credit. Just drop my name. Drop it like it's hot. So, he brought this amp in. I said, I had one of these recently and the verdict was not great. Kicking the bucket in the mosh pit would be a great way to go, though. Family taught me how to going. Wish I could have gone to Metallica, but I had an angiogram today. Jesus, too risky. Bloody hell. Sorry, I'm just going back and having a look. Keep your beer cold and your hand warm. That's right. Man, speaking of gigs, yeah, well, I know. I want to go to the consumer one. I've just had family stuff on every weekend and just too much work. Towards the end of the year, I just don't have a life pretty much at all, which is why I stream to you champions, because it makes me feel a little bit human. Between threats of legal action for just talking and jobs that haven't gone fantastically, like needing extra parts and having to order multiple times to get a job done. It's been pretty stressful the last couple of months and anxiety ridden. Trying to keep a level head, but you know what it is? I need more exercise, because when I'm out there walking or riding or whatever, your head's so clear and it's just so good. Because all you've got to do is take that next step. You don't have to figure out some shit or deal with some cockhead and their fucking preconceptions or unrealistic expectations, and you don't have to do 5,000 things at once and then kick your own ass when you forget one little thing that you got to order again, and now you got to pay multiple lots of shipping, and the whole project gets delayed despite you saying it would be ready a certain time. Now it's back another week again. You just got to take that next step and take that next breath when you're out there exercising, and that's very very relaxing. It's got no separate speaker out, so I might just quickly give it a test and just determine what's going on with it. Did I do a job sheet for this? I don't think I did. I think you said it's just all of a sudden stop, no signal. So I said it's probably got a valve failure and a blown HT fuse, likely. But like the last one, let's just be sure of that first. No light. No activity at all. Okay, so we've got a blown mains fuse. So it could be anything. Left one BGG stubby behind it a gig. That's alright, mate. Send me an email. I'll flick you a new one, buddy. We've got boxes of them here. Are these cubs like the old LC 15Rs? No, I don't think they're anything like them. I started more walking. Been good for my neck somehow. You know what, Mark? It's good for your neck, good for your back, good for all sorts of shit. And you know what? It's good for your mental well-being. And it's everything goes back to your mental well-being. Like literally your body won't heal itself if it's not fucking reasonably happy. Your brain is, it sounds woo-woo, but literally, you know, people fucking die from a broken heart, man. Like, you, if you're not happy, all the exercise in the world won't make a difference. And walking, particularly during Sakura season in Japan, made me incredibly happy. What's my favorite burrito? Slow cooked beef with guacamole, no sour cream, jalapenos, obviously, black beans, shredded cheese, lettuce, oh, not lettuce, rice. I don't know, I'm pretty easy going. That's the Guzman Gomez one hits the spot. I think they're the biggest fast food company in Australia now. I think they overtook McDonald's. Good on you for monitoring your mental health, mate. Exercise is a great way. A lot of blokes just disregard the warning signs and it bites them in the ass when they get in their 50s. Yeah, I'm fucking not far off it, bro. I'm 41. It happened quick. Still feel like I'm 16. I know what the old blokes talk about when they say that shit. If you can fit in an evening hike, there are fireflies in Springwood at the moment. Nice. I should hit that up. Bring your Penny Boy. You know what? I'll bring Sony Boy for that because lower light, she's better noise performance. I would walk outside, but I can't afford to fall on the ice again. Yeah, give it a few months, Mark. 55,000 went to Metallica here in Auckland. They use Fractal and in-ears now. Not so metal if you ask me. 4x12's monitoring air. Oh, moving air on stage is part of what made the gigs awesome, I thought. Well, I mean, since the Black Album, they've been using that fucking crazy stage that's had, you know, like amplifiers off stage mic'd up. But whatever works, really. I mean, just don't go to the big gigs, you know. If you want authentic and raw and in your face, go to the fucking small gigs. The guys need your money more anyway. Metallica don't need any more fucking money. Don't give them any more money. Go to the fucking small gigs. Go to your local stuff. Go get in with the local scene, find out who the shit bands are, who the good ones are. Get on fucking speaking terms with the good ones. Spread the word around, and you'll be an underground badass motherfucker that knows what's going on, that's got your ear to the ground, that people will look up to just because you do a little bit of groundwork. Fuck all groundwork, but if you're just another chud listening to Metallica and paying them fucking $300 for a gig where you're so far removed from it, it's ridiculous. When you could spend $20 and go to a gig and share sweat with the fucking lead guitarist who's a fucking legend. Shout him a beer afterwards, and they'll probably give you free merch. And, you know, if you're single, you fuck one of the groupies, you know, that kind of deal. Get free drugs off them. Get out there and get wild, motherfuckers. Instead of standing in line. Last time I saw Metallica was probably, what, 2004, I think. And there were people in the fucking stands with popcorn. And I'd said to my mate, this is the most un-rock and roll fucking experience I've ever had. I feel like I'm at a movie. This is fucking ridiculous. It feels like a circus more than a band. Let's fucking go. It was lame as fuck. But then I go to a Marrickville Bowling Club where you can reach up and touch the ceiling and it drips on you. And it was the most rock and roll fucking thing ever. And the singer's fucking shoving his bass guitar into the hole in the ceiling and shit. It was awesome. Yeah, last time I saw Metallica, it was just like that. Yeah. Small gigs are way better. I had the best time seeing Carcass, fuck yeah, at a small club last month. Bill Steer is so underrated. Totally agree with supporting local acts. The sound is what good amps can create. I have heard a lot of bands these days using like katanas and stuff though, and fuck, it sounds brittle and sounds gross. But then the most crushing, fucking soul destroying in a good way tone I've ever heard was when Corrosion of Conformity started playing at Crowbar. It's confusing. Crowbar's a club because some of the guys are out of Crowbar, and they played at like 3/4 speed. The starting riff, and the slower it was, the fucking heavier it was. It was so fucking brutal, and everyone turned and looked at each other because they could not believe the sound that was coming out of those amps was real. I've never heard something so perfectly shaped in terms of EQ, the amount of gain, the compression, everything was just perfect, and it sounded better than any Corrosion and Conformity record ever has on record. It sounded so good. And I was saying to Luke, because he mentioned yesterday that we got 2 more screws there, that John Mayer's best stuff is when he played live, like his best recordings are the live records. And I said, well, that's fantastic, because any dickhead can sound fantastic in a studio, but it's the guys that sound better live that are the really good guitarists, because that's where you can't hide, unless they're doing overdubs and shit, but I don't believe he did that. Yep. Stuck like a cheese sandwich. And you pull this thing out, and it's quite shocking, but that's the whole thing there. It's tiny. But I'll check this out for Gav. I told him no more jobs this year, but I've always got a soft spot for gigging musos. Try to see what I can do to help him out. Alrighty then. Any signs of shit stains? Corrosion of Conformity are no joke. They're always beyond real life. Man, I've never heard something that sounds as fucking crushingly heavy as that. In fact, I've got video evidence to prove it. The moment that they started playing, I'll show you. Obviously, I can't show you too much because it's copyright material. And the sound is good enough for it to get identified as copyright material. But one of my playlists I've saved is gigs that I was at. I hate it when shit moves right under your mouse right as you press the fucking button. I don't seem to remember it doing that as much as it does these days. Playlists. Gigs I was at. It's 12th of February 2020. I got so sick after this gig. I reckon I had COVID before they knew it was in the country. I was fucked for like 2 weeks. Who are you talking about here? I think the craziest tone I've heard recently was Primitive Man at a small club here in Grand Rapids. Ethan was running the Dean Costello HMW and an Orange Shield Dark 2 stacks. Oh, you just saw Mammoth? Fuck yeah. Saw Corrosion of Conformity open for Mammoth recently. Really? I thought Mammoth would be opening for Corrosion Conformity. Anyway, and they were awesome. Sydney would have been amazing during the early AC/DC days. Yeah, man. It's still got echoes of it. Every now and then there'll be a little blip of bands and you still feel the same energy. It's still boiling away, but it's just undercover, which makes it so much awesome when you do find something. I saw My Bloody Valentine last Tuesday. They were fucking brilliant, astonishing, and a healthy volume. Nice. Yeah, I've got to get more into them. I've heard a bunch of their stuff via some mutual some friends and fans, and Henry Rollins sometimes plays some of their stuff on his show too. All right, let's go desktop audio on. Desk share. So listen to this start. Hear that all right? Days, the start of this is so cool. I was right up in front. I think that's my hand there. Got in there too. Me down the front because we had a smoke with him and a beer out the back before the gig, and he pointed at us, goes, "Hey, there's the chap." Amazing shit. It was so fucking heavy that they played it slower too. That's what I love about stoner and doom metal. The slower you play it, the fucking heavier it is. Hell yeah. I showed Michelle Pucifer last night, driving back from the pub after dinner. Or before dinner, actually. Reminds me of Sabbath. Yeah, very Sabbath inspired. But yeah, I showed her Pucifer and I showed her the song Queen Bee. If you guys know what that is. Funny lyrics. Maynard's a funny bastard. Okay, so mains fuse is intact, so it's strange that we've got no power draw at all. So we've got a busted transformer. You ever seen I Hate God live? No, but if they ever threw out here again, last time they're out, I didn't have I was booked for something else. It was like a wedding or some shit, so I couldn't go to it. I think I'm just gonna go back to my my selfishness that I had when I was a 20-year-old, and if a band's coming out that I want to see, no matter what's happening, I'm just going to go, yeah, I'm going to see that. Fuck your wedding. Fuck your birthday. Yeah, Pucifer. Yeah, it's like Maynard's like actual creative project, whereas Tool is just like a job. I just found this in there. It's like a burnt sticker. I don't know what that's off. Can't find anything that looks burnt. It looks like it fell off the transformer maybe, but the transformer doesn't look burnt. So, yeah, so Queen Bee is his homage to, let's just say curvy ladies. Grab them saddle bags and throw them over me. We'll ride on. We've got resistance here on the primary. So that's good. So do we have a Pico fuse? You can see the price these are built down to, champions. It's not it's not pretty. But it is what it is. Boris, yeah, Boris are great too. I love Boris. They're Japanese, yeah. Boris. Here's a possibility we've got a bad switch, so we'll just check that first. Simple thing first. Interesting. I think we've got a bad switch, legends. Could it be that easy? No, are you serious? Jeez. It is my lucky day. This just goes to show you it pays to check the simple things first, eh? Man, that whole switch is flexing, eh? It's like it's made out of like 1/2 mil thick plastic. Yeah, no connection there at all. We've got connection there. No connection, no connection. So one pole's gone. So they are switching. Yeah, they're switching both poles, which is what you should do ideally. If you've got a dual pole switch. That's the way to do it. I haven't seen Primus in years. When I was younger, I caught them whenever they toured. Yeah, I only sort of got into Primus recently once I started realizing that they're not to be judged by other bands, sort of. They're their own entity. And in this day and age, it's very rare that someone has that much of character. I started appreciating him more in recent years now that I'm a bit more open to different styles of music. New 2800. Oh, yeah, she feels chewy. New 30 and 100 watt ones apparently have that harmonic thing going on too. Are you talking harmonic? Okay, let me just read back. I saw something about those old Partridge OTs having some sub-harmonic that helped make the Black Sabbath sound. I don't know. Without like a actual like scientific definition of what you're talking about, I think it's all just sort of, I mean, if you're just talking the size of the transformer, then yeah, that allows bass frequencies too. But when you listen to Sabbath's guitar sound, there wasn't a lot of bass in it. It was a pretty crispy tone. Haven't seen tube retainers like that. Would you call it bespoke or a joke? No, they're on everything. They're on Foxes. They're on all sorts of stuff. That's pretty standard setup. They're not great, but they do work. There's not a lot of other ways to hold in preamp. Well, you know, you normally use the shields because that also gives you shielding from noise. But for the output valves, there's not a lot of other ways to retain them. Generally, you sort of don't need retainers on EL84s though, because they're pretty lightweight. So let's crush this thing open and see what actually happened to it. Even the top's not metal. It's got a plastic. Normally that bit's pressed metal across there, and then the body's like a resin, but this is all plastic. Built down to a price, champions. That's what you get for wanting cheap shit. Oh, fuck. Alright, so no Arky Sparky. Just mechanically destroyed itself. Looks like a spring probably became dislodged and... Yeah, so I don't think anything electronic's gone wrong in it. It's just shitty switch. So we can take care of that and see how this thing goes, and one less job to worry about then. It'd be good, wouldn't it? Beer eating rest, maybe. I did go see Gav and the lads not too long ago. They played at a local brewery, and his pedal power supply was fucking up. And I was on the beers. So we were sitting there, and it started playing up, and I saw the light coming and going on his pedals, and I thought... And then he leant over and started fucking around with the pedals. So I leaned over and sat on the... I stood on the... I sort of laid down flat on the... they had some subwoofers across the front. And just jiggled his power supply on his pedals until it worked, and then just wrapped some gaff tape around it, pulled some gaff tape off something else and wrapped it around it, so it pulled the cable one way, and he was able to finish the gig, and everyone thought I was a genius. Got rounds of applause. But you can't buy beers with rounds of applause, champions, so buy me a beer next time. No. Alright, Switchy McSwitch base. Do we need a lock washer? We'll put one on anyway, but it does have the locating pin there on the chassis. You can see the little tooth there. So we'll just line that up with that. Has this been used? Got solder on it. Maybe I used it as a test. Of course, time is of the essence on this one because they're only worth so much money. Sprays on that way. That way. Alright, so active there. Neutral there. Active there. Neutral there. I'll give that a quick power up. I'm not going to let it warm up enough to be able to produce signal because I'll need to plug it into a speaker. Actually, let's just plug it into a speaker, eh? I'll just get an adapter lead. I'm going to assume that that's going to work. A silly assumption, I know, but when it's something as simple as a switch, you never know. What often happens around here, and it blows my mind how often it happens. We've got 5 minutes, champions. You'll do something blindly obvious, like clearly a switch has failed because it tests failed, and you'll put the thing together and fire it up, and then literally it'll still have the exact same symptom, nothing changed. And then you find, oh, something else has failed, a connector's failed or something like that. And there's like multiple faults underlying the one symptom. And it makes it very hard to explain to a customer that you had to do this other stuff when in their mind it was just a simple failed switch. The customer only thinks of the simplest thing, but the experienced tech anyway, is always a bit pessimistic in that respect and expects multiple faults all the time. All the time. Usual things. $8, thanks, mate. Don't know what a schooner in costs in Sydney, but at this point, this ought to help. Yeah, that'll buy me a pale ale. Fucking oath. Thanks, mate. Smash one, Sabi. All right, power. I'm going to plug straight in. Bang. No light. No power draw. 1 watt. 2 watt. What the fuck, man? What did I just say? How's it drawing 3 watts then? Ah, yeah. I disconnected the connector. So that was just the energization power for the magnetizing of the power transformer. And we have light. 48 watts, 39 watts, 35 watts, 32 watts. Let's just turn stuff down a bit. Set the EQ halfway, volume down, tone midway. Let's turn the reverb down at the moment. Should start seeing the power increase. Yep, 30, 31, 32, 33. And up we come. Let's plug in and have a listen. 15 watts? Yeah, 15 watts. We've got signal champions. Let's have a listen. All good. Full on Kev's mum. TK, how you going, legend? Someone was asking him about a tech in Melbourne. How far out of Melbourne are you, buddy? You guys can hook up. I don't judge. Yeah, sounds pretty good. One thing I'm going to do, normally I wouldn't suggest putting any money into one of these, but I am going to up the screen grid resistance just to give those EL84s a fighting chance. We're going to bias it. It's sitting at 36 watts, which seems a bit low to me, so I'll check that. But it's probably better to be on the cooler side. You're in Preston. Okay, that's not too far out, is it? Who was looking for a Victorian tech, a Melbourne tech? Fire up. I hope you're still here. So yeah, we'll just go over the thing and do a few little preemptive things, modifications for longevity. And but yeah, besides that, just the switch, bro. So that's cool. Switching my idiocy because I didn't connect the AC plug. Anyway. Seems a lot better with one of that than one of those ants that rhymes with cola. That was you. Usual things. Okay. We'll get in touch with TK there and get it happening, bro. So, champions, 8:59. I'm on time to start. I'm on time to finish. So, I'll leave you guys there. I'm going to finish this guitar. I'm going to get onto this Fiberlux. Parts should be arriving for the supposedly unbranded JTM 45. The capacitors shut the bed too because I think they're fakes. Or Maple Audio, not fucking Modulus Audio, even though they use the same symbol. And I'll ring my mate about that 50 watt Rockerverb and figure out what's going on because that seems fine. I'll just check that he's got the budget for a general service just in case it is something intermittent with a connector or the effects loop jack, something like that. But considering he said it was channel specific, I think it might have something to do with the foot switch. I'm not sure, which he didn't provide for me to test. So I'll just maybe get him to bring that when he picks it up and double check that that's not the issue. I'll clean this thing up cabinet-wise and get it back to Gav. That's another job out of the way. I probably should go back to guitars this week for the end of the week. Saturday's a write-off because I've got that music festival. Sunday we're out of town. Monday we're out of town. So this weekend I won't get anything done at all, really, which is a bit annoying because I'm so far behind. But same old story, just the squeakiest wheel gets the foot up the arse. So that's falling over and only just the legs just catching up. That's my business model, essentially. Anyway, take it easy, legends. I'll put up the JTM video again once I've edited out the stuff that they took objection to, and then we'll basically cut it down to what is irrefutable and post that, basically, and then tell them to get fucked if they've got a problem with it. The story's not over, champions. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Take it easy. Catch you on the next one.